who had some awesome accomplishments this week. So Erica, without further ado, I want to introduce you with full congratulations. If you guys can give it up for Erica in the chat, just how awesome of a week she had. 6-star Golden Circle. So proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you, Jessica and Lauren. Thank you so much for letting me be the panelist or be in charge of all these panelists tonight. I'm so excited for tonight's call. It's going to be so amazing. You guys are going to get so many golden nuggets out of this. And I just want to remind you that this week wouldn't have been possible without everyone rowing in the same direction. There was so much good momentum, so many great things going on. And we are never a party of one in this business. Like, we start as a party of one, but the beautiful part is we just keep adding, and none of us would be in any of our ranks. You know, Jessica, Lauren, Brandy, and Holly would never be where they are without everyone rowing and doing this together and just making big, bad, awesome things happen when the culture just lights up. And I just want to say this was just such a celebratory week for so many people. And guess what? If it wasn't a celebratory week for you, maybe this week wasn't your week to run. It's okay. This is the beautiful part. You're on this call tonight. You're here because you're like, I want to learn more. Maybe that next run week, you want it. Maybe it's next week. Who knows? Maybe it's this week. And I want to remind everyone that this is the beautiful part of this business. We all run and sprint at different times, and there's things that come into our lives. So regardless of where you were, if you got a rank advancement this week, if you enrolled 15 people like Ann White, or you enrolled no one this week, it's okay. You showed up tonight and you're here to learn from some of the best people. And I want to give you the grace and the glory and remind you and thank you so much for being here and pouring into yourself, because that's why you showed up tonight. So tonight, guys, I have 4 absolutely amazing rock stars who did blow it up this week. They made the commitment. They made the declaration. They knew they were going to go after these goals, right? And you're not going to hear just all about their glory or all about just why they got to a rank advancement. You're going to hear the good, the bad, some of the tips, some of the tricks, when they get stuck in the business, what they do. Because it looks beautiful, their star, their rank advancements, maybe their poster on a wall. Maybe you see them, you know, on one of their posts and you're like, oh, it just looks so easy for them. It's not always easy. And we're going to talk about some of those times tonight. So if you are ready, pen to paper, guys, get your pen and paper out. You're going to, like I said, hear from 4 incredible rock stars. They're going to tell you their good, their bad, their tips and tricks, and they are going to just inspire you to go after your next goal and your next rank advancement. But before we do, I want everyone to take that pen that I just told you to get out, and I want you to write your next rank advancement, but I don't want you to write it down yet. I want you to write, I will be, and then what your next rank advancement is going to be. Now I want you to write it again, and I want you to write, I am. So if you're going for director, I am director. And I want you to put a date next to it. I want you to commit to it and put a date next to it. And whatever piece of paper you just wrote it on, circle it, star it. And if you're so brave, share it with someone else you see on this call. Take a picture of it, send it to them either during this call, after this call, at some point. Can I tell you why? Because if you write it down, it's 42% more likely to happen. And guess what? If you tell someone else, it's 67% more likely to happen. I mean, just the stats alone are astonishing. So write those down, manifest it, feel it, and envision yourself being on this next panel call when we do this next one, when you rank advance to that level. Okay, without further ado, let's jump right into this, guys. We're going to start. I have 4 panelists. I'm going to introduce them, and then I have specific questions for each of them. Some of them may chime in if they have something else they're dying to add, but I really wanted to switch it up so everyone wasn't answering the exact same question, so you're not hearing all the same themes. You can hear a lot of different answers. So the first person I'd love to introduce is Jen Van Den Elzen, and she has been using our nutrition for 5 years. but she formally just joined Team Win as a business back in July. She's a 1-star Silver Circle Crystal Director, an avid runner, and she absolutely, her favorite products are e-shots, chocolate shakes, and collagen. She's a homeschool mama of 3 sassy kids. She loves to travel, and she's incredibly passionate about her community and well-being. She has a master's degree in public health, and she serves as a chief election inspection officer for the city of Green Bay. Prior to joining Isagenix, she ran a successful community health nonprofit where she appeared in local media and was a trainer statewide. She has a bold vision for serving people. She brought that boldness into Isagenix, and she loves to help people dream big and go after their goals. So let's welcome Jen to the call. I'll introduce each of them right before I get into the questions so you can remember what they're all about, and then we'll jump right into these questions. So Jen, welcome tonight. We're so honored. We're so proud of you for your huge rank advancement this week. I'm going to start with one question. You used the nutrition for 5 years. That's a long time. But finally, there was a catalyst, right? That said, hey, I want to join this business. In July, something triggered. What was that switch for you?
All right. Well, Erica, I can't not be pumped up just like hearing your voice. Seriously. Like, I'm just like, oh, yes, we can all do it. So my story is hopefully going to be an encouragement to anyone who has ever been in a position of thinking, I need one more enrollment, I need one more person to come into my business this week. I was that person that just like showed up. You know, I've actually been in Isagenix twice, and both times someone did not recruit me. I sent them a random message after seeing a random post and said, I want in. So one big message I would say about rank advancements, particularly, if you stay in action, at the 11th hour, someone will always drop into your lap. And I am the person that drops randomly into people's laps. So you have to know it can happen. But so I joined Isagenix actually 5 years ago, specifically for the business. I was really skeptical about the nutrition. I was actually never going to drink a shake. I thought it was like borderline child abuse that people would give products like this to their kids. Like, I very arrogantly wrote a newspaper article about how bad all of this supplementing and all this kind of stuff was. Anyways, spoiler alert, I actually ended up loving the nutrition. So never discount someone. If they are very vocal even about not being interested in your products, you never know when their timing is going to be right. But I joined the business and loved the products, built very quickly, and very much in a burnout kind of way. So very long story short, I built to 3-star, burned myself out, trashed a lot of relationships around me, and just didn't have my head in the right place, and I walked away. Had nothing to do with the company. Isagenix is amazing. It had everything to do with it not being my time to really thrive in network marketing and really be the leader that I could be. So I stepped away and spent a few years. I loved the products, couldn't deny that. Actually ended up ordering them through a friend's account for a few years because I was so obsessed with the products. But I spent a few years, quite frankly, just working on my mindset, reprioritizing my life, just kind of really figuring out what brought me joy and who I was. And last year, I felt kind of this nudge. I think we've all had that, where we feel kind of like that nudge, like, there's something out there for me. You know, I want more. What is it? You know, is that nudge? And I said, you know what? I want to try network marketing again, but I'm going to look for a different company this time. Did a bunch of research, tried to find a product I like, couldn't find anything that I would pay for, even if I wasn't earning money from it. Couldn't find a compensation plan that made any sense to me. Like, if anyone's ever looked at a compensation plan in another company, you know, it's like, what the heck is this? Like, just couldn't find anything else that even came close to what I knew Isagenix had. And so I made the decision, I'm going to join Isagenix again. And randomly one day, I think I've told Jessica this, a reel of hers popped into my Instagram feed, and we were not connected on Instagram. So I don't know how that happened, but there was this cute little reel and it was about her platinum re-entry. And I was like, hang on, I think I've seen her train before. Who is this Jessica? Looked her up, did some ISA stalking, realized, you know, that she's the real deal and an amazing leader, sent her the most random message and did a phone call, and I was in. So that was last summer, relaunched my business. So I am that person, like I said, that if you're like, man, I really need a partner to join my team, where are they going to come from? I feel like I've asked everyone. You might get a random message from someone one day that's just like, I'm here, I want to build. But so that's kind of a long answer to the question. So that was, I jumped back in last summer, and honestly, It has been amazing. And I
Yeah.
am so grateful for the
And
leadership.
Jen, it sounds like it's because you saw Jessica keep showing up, right? Like you could have selected anyone to reach out to, but you saw Jessica, you saw that she kept putting herself out there. She was someone you were attracted to. So, such a good reminder for all of us is that's why we keep putting our brand out there authentically.
Yes.
Be you, but you were attracted to who she was, what she was building. You knew that she was still building, like there was no doubt in your mind, but you were just attracted to who she was as a leader. And I just absolutely love this story. So let's switch gears. There's a lot of busy people on here. You're a mom that homeschools 3 kids, right? But yet you still fit this in and you've grown explosively. But what does a typical day look like? And how do you fit it in right now? And what's your number one tip that you can give people who are like, I'm so busy, I want it so bad, I showed up tonight, but I'm not finding the time to put it into this busy schedule?
Yes. Okay. I will say, I will completely admit that I make not having time an excuse sometimes. And Jessica probably wants to like reach through the phone and like shake me sometimes, like, but I will make that excuse sometimes. I'm human, I do. But what I have learned is that everybody has the time. Erica, you're a perfect example. You are incredibly busy and you still find the time if you can get organized. So I have like a few kind of tools that I use to stay really organized so that, I'm in a season of my life where I've got kids hanging on me all the time. I have no childcare. I can't always be like, tomorrow from 9 to 11 is my isogenics time. That's amazing. That's not what I have right now. Right now I have, oh my gosh, Jackie is playing contentedly in the corner for 10 minutes. How can I use those 10 minutes effectively? So I have found that if I get really organized, that I always have a task that I can complete when the time presents itself. So I use my electronic calendar and I use the Google Drive. And I just, whenever I have a moment, even if it's in the car waiting to pick someone up from dance, I always have an action I can take. And being prepared in that way is huge for me to be able to maximize my time.
So guys, being prepared, right? Thinking ahead, right? Not waiting till that last minute, having that list set up, right? The best plan is the one that you already have planned out and put into place. So then, it's like when you go to the grocery store, right? If you go and you don't have a list, I don't know about you, but like it inevitably so 18 minutes longer in the grocery store for me. When I go with a list and I'm like, okay, aisle 1, I need bananas, pickles, and tomatoes. And I know pickles aren't in the same aisle as those two, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot more effective when you do it that way. So, have a list, know what you're going after and look at it. Like, one of my favorite things to do is on Sundays to really look at how I'm mapping it out. And first thing Monday morning, anyone that I didn't enroll the last week that I wanted to enroll goes to the next page. And I'm like, okay, these are the people that I'm following up with, right? And just continuing to come up with what that looks like for you. And everyone's is going to look different. Some people are going to be doing it on a computer. Some people are going to be doing it in a manual. Some people are going to be doing it in a planner. Like, you do you, but find a system that you can be consistent to, and that's going to hold you accountable. It sounds like it's exactly what you do, which I love. Okay. So this question comes up all the time. You've gone to Crystal Director. So you've created 6+ consultants very quickly. I hear a lot of people say, I can never find my +2. What type of language are you using when you go to your new people who are excited to enroll, but they're like, no, I don't want the business. I don't want this. Like, what is some of your posturing, some of your language, some of your tips and tricks of people that are kind of stuck there right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I will say I have learned so much from these calls specifically that I'm just putting that into practice. So my biggest tip is read the room. Are you talking to someone who wants the business very clearly, or are you talking to someone who really is just here for the product right now? And then I have just 2 paths I take depending on which one they are. And that doesn't mean a product user obviously can't become a business builder in the future. But if somebody is someone who either said, no, I don't want the business, I just want the product, or someone that I just organically had a conversation about collagen, so it naturally went to the product. I just, once their order goes through and I get that little stalker notification, I have copy and paste language that I send immediately every time. And I can drop it in the chat when I'm done here. But I send it and it says, I saw your order went through. Okay, here are my top 3 tips for success with this collagen that you can do right now while you wait for your box to arrive. And then I write 1, 2, 3. 1, make sure you take your before pictures, take really good ones or you'll regret it. 2, download the IsoLife app. This is the easiest way to manage your orders and share your referral link. And then 3, I write, on that note, let's get you $200 cash back for referring 2 people to try this collagen. It's super easy. You can use a link from the IsoLife app, just like I did with you, and then you'll earn that cash back. And then I go right to who are 2 people that would want to try this collagen with you. And like Jessica always says, if I know them well enough to grab some names, I put that right out there. Wouldn't your mom love this? And I know your sister's always down to try something new. So that's my copy and paste message that goes out every time an order comes in.
And so this is, guys, it's all about, you hear Jessica and Lauren constantly saying ATM, PVC, follow the systems, don't recreate the wheel. Jen has a system that works. And when you find a system that works, like ATM, like PVC, don't veer from it. It works. And guess what? It's become a habit of hers, right? It wasn't easy this first week. It probably wasn't easy the second week. By the third week, it felt like she didn't brush her teeth when she walked out the door without sending that message, right? It feels weird. It feels awkward. And that's what this business should start to feel like, and not robotic, but that you have to have systems and duplication so we can share it with other people. Jen, that message, she's going to share it with us. That's what she puts out there. And that's what she does. It may not be exactly what you do. You might like leaving a voice message, but whatever it is, come up with that habit that you're always saying, that you're always sharing. Like for me, I always share the graphic with the 2 boxes of collagen with the friends. You get the $65 product coupon, you get the $25 off. And I'm always like, listen, this would be crazy for you not to get this for free. Who are the 2 people that we're going to grab this week and do it with? And so again, that's what I do. Everyone does it a little differently, but Jen's going to share that language. And maybe for you, it's going to be perfect to add to your business and then to make that part of your steps. So Jen, yes, you are absolutely amazing. Is there anything before we go on to the next person that you just have to leave us with? I know you might have to jump off early. So is there anything you're going to be doing right now to keep this momentum going, that you're going to keep that drive and keep that vision going? So, because it's really easy, right? When we have all this momentum going to be like, oh, I need a break, or, oh, I'm going to like kind of relax now because I worked so hard. What's going to keep you catapulting forward?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that I learned years ago is when we accomplish something big, we have a tendency to go like, oh, I did it. I accomplished it. I deserve a break. Right. And yes, we need to take time to celebrate, but I have learned every time that I justify to myself, oh, now this Monday, I don't need to do anything in my business because I did so much last week. I'm going to catch up on laundry or this or this or that. It always slows me down. So I would say when you accomplish something big or get into momentum, always continue to ride the wave. Don't justify to yourself that all of a sudden like, oh, I deserve a break. If you need to scale down a little, that's one thing. But to all of a sudden, I've made that mistake before where I felt like, I've been glued to my computer all week. I need to just not do anything today. That was a big mistake for me in the past, to not just continue to ride the wave of momentum.
Yep. And a body in motion stays in motion. A business in motion stays in motion, right? It doesn't have to be the exact same velocity, but continuing to do something every day, right? It's like they always say, you never want to completely stop your car, you idle it, right? Because it takes a lot more horsepower to start it back up. And I see people in this business who stop and then go and stop and then go, and that just gets exhausting. Inconsistently, I think Lindsay posted something today, being consistently inconsistent can also be like a really hard part of your life, right? Like if you're constantly being inconsistent, you're never going to get any further ahead. So it's just that consistency every day. So Jen, you are utterly amazing. Thank you so much for being on tonight. If we have some time at the end, we'll jump back to you, but I'm so glad you got to share your story. I'm sure there were so many golden nuggets there. If you have a favorite thing that Jen said, throw it in the chat if maybe someone else didn't hear it, or give Jen a big shout out. So Jen, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Erica.
Absolutely. I know she has kids to take care of. So Cindy, we are going to turn it over to you. Cindy, I am so excited. Koraba is on the call. She's a certified health coach who was with Isogenics years ago, and she decided to come back this last January. She has 2 grown children, one and one still in high school. And she is also soon to be a Nana, which is so exciting, but it wasn't until this last NYKO. So take it, guys. She went to an event, and with her bestie, Barb Kerman, and she got reunited with the business, and it's just taken off since then. I mean, if you guys watch the weekly top enroller, I mean, her name's popping like popcorn. It's an unbelievable. She chipped off one goal at a time and continues to do everything a little more each week. She went from consultant to executive and one golden star in under 2 months, guys, record time. She loves this extra income because it really helps with her. They just bought a family shore house. She has an 8-passenger Highlander that she takes the teens in church to the youth group. And she's an avid sister in Christ and knows that this is the plan and her direction that she is supposed to be going, helping so many people and working with her lifelong friends. So Cindy, we are so excited to have you on the call tonight. We are so proud of you for all of your massive accomplishments. So my first question to you is, after being with Isagenix, why did you have the drive and incentive to join again 2 months ago? Like, what all of a sudden was the aha moment?
Okay. Hi, everybody. So a year ago when the collagen came out, I thought, hey, that sounds like a great product. I want to try it. So I tried it and I dabbled. I told a couple people and I got it paid for. Just like we say, oh, get your products paid for. I got it paid for a year. And Barb kept saying to me, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I wasn't listening. That's all there was to it. So this January came and she said, come to NYKO. And I'm thinking, well, we always have a lot of fun together. So I'm going to go. It's going to be a lot of fun, right? And I wasn't thinking I was really going to make any changes. And we went to NYKO and something hit me. And I just said, I'm just going to listen to what these people are saying. These people know what they're talking about. And I'm going to listen for once and I'm going to do what they say. I'm not going to be running my own show. I'm not going to be. And guys, we don't have to run our own show. We don't have to make a website. We don't have to make a Facebook page. We don't have to make flyers and brochures. We don't have to make a system. It's there. Everything's here. Everything's here. Use it. Don't spend your time doing things that they've already done. So I just took every resource and I took every bit of guidance that Barb and Jessica gave me, and I did it. And every time I did it, I succeeded. So all of a sudden I came back from NYKO and the verbiage would be coming at me and then I would spill it. And then all of a sudden the person would enroll or the person would. So the next piece of advice I have is just listen to the people who are here already, who have been doing it because they know. And sometimes it's not comfortable for us. Sometimes it's not what we would exactly say or do. But when I did that, I mean, it's only been since mid-January we got back. And I've got like maybe 14 consultants now and hit all these ranks. And it's purely because I'm just doing what they say. And I just think that's,
So Cindy, I hear you saying two things. One, you decided, hey, it's my time to show up, right? So you made the commitment to yourself, not to anyone else, but you made the commitment to say, this is my time. Two, you were willing to go to an event. Guys, events are everything. The vision tour is coming through. There's celebration coming in August. There's the David Wood event coming up in May. I mean, guys, there's so many. Isagenix makes it so easy to plug into so many things. It's your decision. Are you going to make the sacrifice on Thursday night to be in Philly if you live in the greater area? Are you going to take the hour drive or, caravan with a couple of people or grab a friend to go with you? It's your decision. But let me tell you, anytime I go to an event, they could be saying the exact same thing. It lights me up in a different way. It lights my match. It makes me recognize how powerful we really are. And that's exactly what Cindy saw. And then the last thing she said is she plugged into the systems. She didn't try to recreate the wheels. She said, what systems work? I'm going to plug into them. And here we go. Let's grease the tracks. And she was off like lightning. Okay, Cindy, next question for you. Why do you love network marketing so much, especially associated with your health coach practice? So Cindy has other stuff that she has going on, just like most of us do, but she's aligned them so well. So talk to us a little bit about that, how you've made that alignment.
So as a health coach, I feel like I need to have an arsenal of really good products and really good researched items that I can offer to my people when they have different issues. Well, Isogenics has so much, and we know that it's a tried and true company. It's 20 years. We know that everything they have has been thoroughly researched, studied by scientists, backed by studies, backed by peer reviews. We know this. So I don't need to go any further when somebody says to me, I can't sleep. I have something for them. I don't need to go further when they say, I want to drop a few pounds, or I have weight loss resistance. And I say, it could be toxicity. Let's do this. Let's balance your hormones. Everything's here. My skin, my hair, my nails, my gut, my joints, everything's here. The thing is that I believe I like to talk, and I'm a teacher. I'm a retired school teacher. I like to talk by trade. And I believe that when somebody hears me speak about a product, they get excited about it and then they want to use it. So because that happens, then I feel like they're just not going to a shelf and picking up a product and going home with no guidance. That's the beauty of network marketing. We explain to them, we give them testimonials, we give them ideas of people who have had success. We give them ideas of how to use it, how to tweak it. And so now that's the whole beauty of it. Now they have guidance. They have somebody to text if they have a question. They have somebody to call, and now they use the product and they are more successful. That's why network marketing is so great. It's all about relationships.
Yeah. And I love that. Like, I think about it. When I used to buy my powdered protein that was probably, laced with God knows what at GNC, the guy at GNC never called me. He never called me on Tuesday and said, hey, listen, is your shake like too watery or too chunky or too this? Like, he never checked in with me. He also never called me and said, hey, listen, next time you come in with 2 friends, I'm going to show you how you can get that canister for free. Yeah. And we have that ability because we have those personal connections. And this isn't especially going through the nutrition, it's an emotional part of that change, right? Wellness is an emotional fix to it, and knowing they have someone that they can depend on and trust and talk to that isn't, their best friend or necessarily, their next door neighbor, and that they feel that they can do that. You guys, we all get to provide that service to them. And it's an absolutely beautiful thing. So Cindy has correlated that so well, or interwoven that so well into our health business. Okay, so let's get really specific here, Cindy. You just made a run to 1 star. Could you be really specific about what the best tip was when you decided to say, hey, I'm going to make this run and this is what I'm going to do? Like, was it your leader in action? Was your crystal executive roadmap? Was it, the 2 weeks before? What was it specifically that you could maybe give some tips on?
Well, leader in action is big. I'm constantly referring back to that. The momentum was there because I wanted to go to Mexico. So I, right then and there, I was, fighting for that. How am I going to get the next consultant? How am I going to get that manager? How am I going to get that, those enrollments? And then comes the sale. And if people don't take advantage of sales, you're crazy, because people love deals. So you better believe that those 3 days, my fingers were falling off. I was telling every customer that I have, every customer I used to have, every person I know, that this is the great deal. And so when you do that and you make it spectacular and exciting and something they can't miss, then they're like, oh, I got to get in on this. So between all those things, that's how this happened this week. And I was piggybacking on Jen. Organization is key. I have a spreadsheet that I shared with Jessica, and I said, don't think I'm crazy, but I keep track of every single customer, when they ordered, if they have subscription, if they're in IsaBody, what Facebook groups they're in, what products they use, and it's on Google Drive, and I constantly am looking at that. Who can I get into IsaBody today? Who can I get into the Facebook group today? Who can I invite to this group? Who can I ask them if they need to reorder? Who can I ask if they can refer a couple people? So the organization is key. And
what the one thing I didn't hear Cindy say is she didn't say, who can I sell to, right? Everything she talked about was serving them. How can I get them into the IsaBody challenge to have them save $200? How can I get them to have the best experience, right? And if you come from that that area of serving other people and serving them to the best degree, you're going to have lifelong customers. And that's exactly what Cindy decided to do. She plugged into Leader in Action. For anyone who was fearful of Leader in Action, and I was, guys, I was so scared of it. I thank Jackie Kirby, because I remember we were on our trip to Mexico with Jessica, and she's like, oh my goodness. She's like, I was so scared of it too. She's like, and I just started using it and now I can't not use it. And I was like, oh, I guess I got to pull that thing out. And as soon as I pulled it out and I started measuring what my business started growing, because what you measure grows, right? What you track changes, right?
Yep.
So why wouldn't we? Small investment for huge growth, your decision, right? Are you going to tell someone and only write your goal down and only increase it by 42%, or you're going to tell someone and increase it by 67%. I don't know. I like the math of 67 compared to 42. Your decision. Cindy, you're amazing. I'm so glad we had you on. I want to make sure we get to our other two panelists. And I thought right in conjunction with this, there's no one better than to introduce is Barb Kerman. I'm so excited. She is one of the OGs. She was the second person ever enrolled to Jessica Rigner. I mean, oh my goodness, did she know what she was walking into? She's a former executive with J&J. She has two kids, a son in college and a daughter graduating high school. It's been a complete blessing for her family having Isagenix. She can't go a day without her e-shots, and she feels the collagen is the best thing that ever happened to her business. She recently just went 3 stars. She declared it, went for it, won the trip to Puerto Vallarta. I mean, she's on a mission. This woman is on a mission, and I love it. The company has given her a blessing. It's helped her pay off her kids' college tuition. But she said the community is, bar none, the best product that she has out of all of it. And that is such a truth. And we need to share more about that community and not be afraid to. So Barb, we are so proud of you. We're so excited to have you on tonight. Question for you, your first question. As the second person ever enrolled to Jessica, you have probably seen a lot of highs and a lot of lows in this business with everyone, with yourself, with Jessica, with Denise, with, you know what I mean? The whole original OG gang, if we pave the path for us. When you do fall out of action, or you maybe have a low, what was the best thing that you should do that you could give people advice? Maybe they're on this call right now and they're like, I want to get back in action. I want to be Barb. Like, I want to run to 3-star. I want to win the trips. What's your best piece of advice?
Well, hi, everyone, and thank you, Erica. Yes, this has been quite a journey, but yeah, so there's highs and lows in this business. We all know that, and I have experienced that. I know that better than anyone. And I remember the first thing I want to say is a piece of advice I got from Jimmy Smith, like very early on in the business. And Jimmy Smith, for anyone who doesn't know him, he is an icon in Isagenix. He is the highest income earner of all time. And he just put it really simply. He said, the only way to fail is to quit. And I've always remembered that, because there were times, I'm just going to be raw and honest with you, that, I hit 2-star right out of the gate, and I stayed there for several years. And then when I failed at something, I let that drop. And so there was a time when my business had gone to less than 1 star, but I remembered, this opportunity is the best, and there's nothing else like it for us. And Jimmy Smith said, the only way to fail is to quit. So I always remembered that. And so that's the first piece of advice. And the second thing I can tell you is that self-development is so important. We can do an entire call just on that. We have probably already done a call just on that. And I think it's really critical in this business, because we always have to work on our mindset. And so that don't quit, and pick yourself back up. And when you're feeling stuck, what can you do? So I literally one time Googled what to do when you're feeling stuck in your business. And I found a video by Eric Worre years ago that was about 4 minutes long. And he said, how to get back in momentum. And it's just really easy way, and it makes so much sense. And I've shared it with a lot of people on my team. So you have these lost days sometimes, or you've just lost your momentum. And so you might feel overwhelmed, and you get up and you're thinking, I don't know what to do. And then what do? Sometimes you do nothing. Has anyone ever felt like that? And then there's these things that he calls lost days. So maybe you're just scrolling on Facebook and you do some laundry, and you're doing this and that, and you really haven't done anything productive for your business. You haven't moved your business forward in any way. And then you find yourself doing that more often. And if you do that too many times, you're going to lose your momentum, and you could lose a lot of your business. So the way to get out of that is to just find one productive thing. So it could be, I'm going to have one appointment tomorrow, or I'm going to go through my downline for all my terminated customers, and I'm going to send them a message. Whatever that is, you do that, and you do that consistently until you start to get back in your groove, and you build your posture again, and you build up your confidence again. And then you add, maybe it's 2 things, and then 3, and then 4, until you get your momentum back. And I've used that method before, because sometimes life is hard and you might have a lot of things going on, but don't stop your business. And then that gets me to the next thing, is the daily consistent action. I know this is nothing new. We say it all the time, but consistency is everything. Consistency is key. So some of us might work, several hours on our business a day, and sometimes you don't have that time. So what can you commit to every day? Is it half an hour? Can you say, I can fit in a half an hour every single day? Is it 2 hours? Whatever that is, you commit to that, and you do not stop. You do that every day. So maybe it's just a half an hour, but don't skip it. And if that's your minimum, then that's what you want to make sure that you do, at least that, even when you don't feel like it. Because I promise you, you will regret it if you start to lose that momentum. And you can avoid that slump if you just do that little bit every day. So I would say that there are some of the things that I do. And then one last thing, when you're feeling kind of low, I remember Jessica said, the best way to lift yourself up is by lifting up others. Of course, that's something Jessica would say, right? So it's so true. So you help out a teammate, you help out a customer, you reach out and ask how your new customers are doing. You do something nice for someone, and that will lift you up.
I love that. Guys, so just lifting other people up. So if you're truly just stuck and you literally can't even do a reach out about a shake or a collagen, I know it's one of my favorite things to do. Is like, I'll come across like maybe the quote book that I read every morning. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm just going to send this to 5 people who I think are going to be blessed with it today. Hey, this quote made me think of you. Right? Why do I love that Jessica always and Lauren always said, hey, start your day with birthday messages. I'm just as selfish. I love saying happy birthday to everyone else, but guess what? It makes me feel really good. Exactly. I know it, and it blesses them, but it makes me feel really good. It bounces my energy. I mean, it's me at 4:45, jamming to the gym, doing happy birthday. The people are like, oh my goodness, my mom didn't even call me 4 hours later. And, some people were like, was that disrespectful? I'm like, well, if they're up at 4:45, that's their problem. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of the first people to wish them happy birthday. That's my time that I like to do it, but it starts my day off really positive, just like Barb's saying. So it doesn't always have to be just Isogenics related, right? Changing that algorithm, reaching out to new people. I know I love, Barb, one of the things is, when people get stuck, pick a letter. Like literally say, what's the letter? Like the next thing that you see, oh, it's H, right? Go to all your names in H's and be like, hey, listen, I'm going to reach out to 10 of those people with Heather, Harry, Henry, and I'm just going to reach out to them, right? I've reached out to them forever. So anyways, it's such a good way. And if you're not into the birthday messages, Barb brings up such a good thing to get in the habit of, because then it makes you go back and look for those people. Barb, you've just been so inspirational to so many people, not only because you started this business, you paved the way. You didn't have a lot of the systems and the websites and everything that we had, but there's so many of you, and I wish I could honor all of the original OGs that are started on both Lauren's team and Jessica's team that built this path for us. Guys, they've built the yellow brick road. We've come in and we've added some glitter and some sparkles along the way, but they were the ones building the foundation for us when a lot of us decided not to get on till exit 15, right? Like they were already working on everything else before us. And Barb is one of those people. And I want to just honor and thank them for all of the work that they've done to set us up for such success with this team. So Barb, they tell us, you say that, one of the things you and I spoke about earlier is there's a lot of people that say they don't have time to build this business, right? So what is your best piece of advice when that objection comes up?
I think it's just the language that you use. Like if I were talking to you, you are the best example, right? Busy people get things done. So I would tell them I hear that a lot. You acknowledge that. I hear that a lot. I understand. But the people in our business that seem to do the best are busy people, because energy creates energy. Those people who are busy are always in action. Maybe it's not isogenics, but whatever they're doing, their job, their side gig, they're in action. They get things done. They just know how. So then you can do this business in the pockets of your time. And people who are busy people typically know how to do those shortcuts, and they know how to be efficient. And that is such a great skill, and something that will do really well in our business. So
I love that, Barb. And I think it's a big, big thing too. I know, like when I'm talking to new prospects, and I know you do this too, show them some of our systems, right? Immediately by showing them PVC or showing them ATM or showing them a website or showing them, hey, listen, everything's there for you. People who are busy want to plug and play, right? They want to know, hey, listen, all of that's already done for me. You mean all I have to do is go and talk to people? Okay, let's go.
Right. I typically tell them that we have the tracks to run on. We have people who are successful in this business, and we have those tracks to run on, and we have those proven systems that, like you said, they can just plug in.
Yep. And you know what Barb does too, is Barb makes sure then she connects them with someone else who they would relate to, right? That message part, that third party validation is massive in this business, right? They already know and trust and like Barb. They wouldn't be on the phone with her if not. But now they get introduced to Kim Malmstrom and they're like, oh my goodness, Kim, I can relate to her so much. She's like running from swim meet to swim meet. She's trying to keep all these kids together. She's quilting. She's doing this. If Kim can fit it in, I can fit it in too, right? And so Barb's going to make an introduction to Kim because she knows that her prospect could relate well to Kim, right?
I love that. Yeah.
Justify our team, but it really validates, hey, listen, this person, I can understand and relate to this person. This person's like me, right? It always feels good, right? When you can
absolutely
catch. And who knows, Kim may be, cheering that person along the whole way. And now they're like, wow, this community is so amazing.
It really is
financially connected and they're helping each other.
Absolutely.
So Barb, any last pieces of advice, anything you're going to be doing to keep this momentum just trudging forward?
Well, I think we have a lot of good things going on right now that we could leverage. For our teams, we want to get them to Puerto Vallarta. So we have that contest, and that is such a doable. We know exactly what to do. So if you roll 8 people, and if you have those 4 consultants and 1 manager, you are earning the trip. So just let's get to work and come up with a plan on how you're going to get there. Lauren Sims just did a call all on that, and she gave the best tips on how to win that contest. So I say we leverage the contest. We also, since we were all in momentum last week, we reached out to a lot of people, right? So the fortune is in the follow-up. So maybe I'm not going to go back and follow up with them on Isogenics since I just messaged them last week, and I might have messaged them twice because first it was for the, when all the reach outs I did for the contest, like Cindy talked about, and then the promotion came, and that was my excuse to follow up with them. So I'm probably not going to mention Isogenics again, but I'm going to, since for all those people who didn't respond to me, I'm probably going to connect with them in some way. Maybe I say, make a comment on their Facebook post, or I say, I really love that dress you wore or something. So when I reach out to them, I'm going to be top of mind, and they're going to remember they never responded to me about Isogenics. So maybe they do, and this time they can tell me why they didn't respond, and it gives me an opportunity to address or overcome that objection. Or they're going, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to get back to you last week. I was so busy, but I really am interested. So you really do need to have that connection again to be top of mind. The fortune really is in the follow-up. So I think that leveraging all the work that you did last week for all the people that you didn't talk to, I would say follow up. And then the other thing is the event. So for us, we have the event in Philadelphia. I think that's really important. We talked about the success that Cindy has an example of getting to an event. So the vision tour, start getting people to the vision tour that's closest to where they live.
And that's precisely what the vision tour is supposed to do. It's supposed to show people, I can do this too. It's relatable, right? One other tip, and then we're going to turn it over to our last panelist, is guys, one of the things I love doing after a week like this, we have so many new success stories, right? We have Barb's success story. We have Cindy's success story. We have this success story. Start putting those stories, even if it's not your story, in your stories. People are watching your stories. They want to see all of these things. The graphics are done for you. The posts are done. Screenshot them. Go look at Jessica's stories today. She has every one of like that got there, and you can like see all of the people on her team. And then I love the follow-up to that too. If you know someone's on the cusp of like wanting to join this business, but not quite there, send them the entire post and say, hey, listen, I know it's not your time still, but this story made me think of you. Stories are everything, right?
I just want to add to that, Erica, what you said about sharing all the success from our team. I've heard more than one person say they felt uncomfortable sharing if it wasn't their personal team. And I said, or if they weren't earning that money, they felt like, quote, a fraud. And so I want to say, if you're feeling like that, everyone on this team is your team, and you're showing them what's possible. So maybe you're not a 6-star or a 4-star, but you're showing them that that is exactly what's possible. So it doesn't have to be you. When I share a picture of someone who lost 100 pounds, I didn't lose 100 pounds. Am I a fraud for sharing that before and after picture? No, because I'm showing them what's possible with our products. And then you're going to do that same thing with the compensation plan.
Love it. Love it. So bam. So go do that tonight when you get off the phone. Take 3 people's success stories and send it to someone else and let them know you're thinking of them and why they'd be so good at this. Okay, guys, without further ado, I want to make sure that we're privy to time. And I am so excited. One of our newest members, just absolute rock star to this team. I can't believe she's only been involved with Isagenix a year, because I feel like I've known her for years, because she is just such a force of nature. Brandy Brokoff, she has been with us for 1 year. She is 5-star, guys, 2 crystal executive. Jeff was telling me that she had this goal within a year to reach it, and look at her. She knew it. She wrote it down. She manifested it. She told Jeff, and she made it happen. Now, she's from Texas. She's married to her best friend, Jeff. They have beautiful blended family of 5. She's passionate about her created to be ministry, and she helps others find their worth and their passion. And anyone that's ever had the honor of speaking to Brandy, I mean, she just breathes life into you in every sort of way. I mean, she could be talking about dirt and you're like, okay, let's go buy some, it's just whatever it is. She loves our Isagenix products. Her 2 favorite are collagen and Bia. And a few words that best describe her is fiercely loyal. And I've seen that firsthand. I feel so honored to be connected with her. We're not financially tied, but yet I feel like I learned so much from her and just really look up to her. And I'm so excited that she is part of this team for all of us, and what she's doing to create such a wave across all of Isagenix. So Brandy, welcome tonight. We are so honored to have you. So my first question to you is, you speak such life into other people, and you radiate such a poise and passion and confidence in everything you do. But did that always come natural, or is that something you had to work on? And what about the days? Like, we see Brandy, and I think most of us look at you and you're like, oh, she always has it together and she's so happy and so bubbly. What about the days you're just not feeling right? Like, what do you or feeling off? What do you do to restore that energy? And maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, you guys, first of all, I just want to say I'm sitting here taking notes. I mean, if you can, I give anybody hope, because you don't have to be organized. You don't have to be the best of the best. You just have to decide. You just have to decide that, you know what, why not you? Why not this? Why not now? Let's go for it, right? And so, no, confidence was not my thing. Just like everybody else, they called me Bucktooth Brandy in school, and I had to grow into my teeth, and and you know what I mean. And so I was constantly shot down all over life, and I don't know if you guys have felt the same way. And then, you know what, you walk in a room and you just didn't feel qualified or like you fit in. I mean, maybe I'm just the only one, but I believe that that's a lot of people's struggle in times, important times in life. So confidence is something we have to work on. I remember starting in this industry, having a self-esteem of a peanut on a high heel shoe. You guys, I did not know anything about this industry. I didn't believe in myself, but I borrowed belief. Somebody saw something in me and said, Brandy, oh my gosh, I so see you. And they casted a vision. They saw me walking on a stage with a pretty gown and doing the thing. And I'm like, that's not where I was at. I had a little business called Buckets and Bubbles, and I was cleaning, houses. That at the end of the day, I wasn't on a stage in a big old dress. I was just, day by day. And my confidence was crushed. I was married at 17. I was in a coma at 23 years old from domestic violence. You never know what somebody's gone through. You never know the pit that they've been in. And yet I'm here to tell you the palace you can get to. When you change the confidence, when you get yourself aligned with people who you want to be around, don't take advice from people you don't want to trade places with. Okay. And don't worry about the no's when they come, because it's not if, it's when. And you're going to all have them. We're going to all have them. And I can tell you right now, but don't give up on yourself. Don't stop believing. Confidence, success does not sneak up on us, you guys. It's not like, surprise, I found you. No, you have to work for it. And Erica, I can tell you right now, like saying yes to collagen, a year ago, I would have never told you this is where I was going to be. But the moment I decided, right, just like Cindy was saying, the moment she decided to listen and be coachable and mentor and grab a mentor and just say, okay, show me the way, and then doing that way and just deciding, take a chance on you, right? Your confidence, why not? Right. And so I can tell you right now, it was because, I started giving myself little goals to accomplish. Saying yes was one of them. Being coachable, being mentored, deciding that I was going to delete all my excuses on the way to success, and truly showing up. That was the number one thing, just showing up. And then guess what? The confidence came because I started hearing other people's stories. I started seeing that they could do it too. I started like, you know what? Okay, maybe I got a chance at this. If they can do it, I can do it. Right. And so I just had to self-motivate myself and talk to myself and affirm myself daily. And I can tell you, you guys, every single day, you have to wake up and decide that you're going to go after what you want. Every single day. It's the system that Isagenix has in place that we can follow. And the more you do, the more confident you're going to become, because you're not going to not do it. And then your mind is going to sit there and be like, and you're going to listen to yourself like, well, your confidence is actually going to go down because now you didn't do what you said you're going to do. You got to be a person of your word, right? If I say I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. You're right. And every time Jessica would give me a next little goal to accomplish, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I got to at least try, And so at the end of the day, Erica, that's how over the years showing up, the confidences came. I forgot I was messed up on my time. So you know what? Like my hair.
That's a good 5-star hairdo. You can tell.
Girl, I was like, Jeff was like, babe, the call's like at 8. I was like, what time is it? And he's like, you got like 5 minutes. I was like,
she's working on 6-star already. She's like, hold on.
Stop it. Yeah. But you know what, guys, like, honestly, like, it doesn't matter. Listen right here. You're kind, you're smart, you're worthy, you're lovable, you're loved. You have what it takes. You're not alone. We got this. Right.
And why not now? Why not you? Right. Is what she said, guys. Why not now? And why not you? It's the commitment. She made the commitment that this is my time. I am going after it. And I love what she said. Delete all your excuses on the way to success. We all can have them. Guess what? We can have a million speed bumps that come in the way. It's your choice if you're going to go over them or you're going to stop at them. Right. And Brandy's decided to go through them and just probably speed up. Jeff would probably admit to us. She just speeds up over the speed bump. She's like, you're not getting in my way. Get out of your way. But what she also said, guys, is every day she has to show up and do an exercise. It's not like she learned it and she never has to do it. She still wakes up every day. It's gotten easier because she's made it a habit. but it's still there. Okay, so Brandy, another question for you. Coming from another network marketing company, what did you see the biggest differences here at Isagenix, but even more specifically in just this culture in both Lauren's team and Jessica's team? What do you see as the biggest difference? Maybe someone's brand new and they're like, I don't know, I'm still feeling this out.
No, yeah. I mean, honestly, being a part of so many different things, like, and looking at this and stepping into it, I watched the leadership. You look at this community, there is nothing like it. There is nothing like A1 from the top to the bottom. When you getting to meet Kathy Cooper, watching, and listening to her and listening to her testimony of how, she was successful in other companies, right? But for whatever reason, that company wasn't, it came down or whatever, it just fell through, whatever happened. But, meeting her and hearing her story of like, she was determined to make Isagenix, right, the best of the best. And she wasn't gonna scrimp. Her integrity was gonna go all out about making this comp plan, the #1 comp plan for us in the field. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that's big. And then meeting Jessica and just her integrity, and then the next person and the next person, and like everybody is one. We're unified here. So there's no competition. That is different than anything else out there. You're competitively driven to compete with somebody else. And that in itself is failure. We don't need to try to, worry about, I'm not trying to be beat somebody else. I'm just trying to beat my best every day. I'm not trying to compare myself or whatever. Like, I want everybody to win. And I think other companies, unfortunately have comp plans that have those pitfalls. So why are we different? Because you guys, I'm telling you what, I take it from me. I've been around the block, and I can tell you right now, the reason why I've gone so fast is because of this leadership. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Thank you for a true and everybody on this. I mean, every person I meet, it's so authentic. It's so real. It makes me want to work harder. And so when you get around people that are for you and that will help you and lift you up and help you rise into your calling and to your purpose and to help you build skills. If you don't have the skills, just get around the people who do. And those are the people you'll be like, right? Get around the people who you see like, oh my gosh, then link arms. That's all we got to do. So Erica, this is totally different, than anything I've ever seen. This is totally different than, I've never made money this fast, ever. I've never built a team this fast, more confident than ever, because I'm like, you got to take a look at this. Hear me now, believe me later. You're not going to want to miss this train. And people, when you are sold out, when you are sure, then everybody else will just like, okay, she knows okay. Then if they don't come along, then it's not for them. It's okay. Next, or they'll come back. But the whole point to this is, you guys, is that, you know what, this is your time. If you're on here, if you're listening to me, if you're under the sound of our voices, like, you are safe. And I'm telling you what, you should just run after whatever it is. You don't have to necessarily run to the top, but whatever you need for your family, go after it and don't stop until you get to where you want to be. That's what I would say about this. This is something everybody can do it. Like Jessica says, Trinity can show the plan, it's 10 with 2. It's not that hard. We don't have to overcomplicate it. And I think that's the problem. We overcomplicate things. Keep it simple, have fun, look for cool people that you want on your team and tell them that. Just say, look, I'm looking for cool people who want to have a good time and want to make some money. Anybody?
Yep. And I love that, Brandy, right now, like, who do you know that would love to come to Puerto Vallarta with me, right? Who do you want to go on vacation with and drink, mimosas with it, 10 o'clock in the morning and like ride on flamingo floaties? Like, who are those people that you want to like dream big with? Those are the people you want to conference with, and you want to go directly to them and tell them. And that's exactly what Brandy does. She is a vision caster to the nth degree. And that's what she does. She creates that vision. And the people that want it hook onto her. And the people that don't, guess what? She gets a lot of no's. She just probably goes after a lot more people than most of us, right? And she's also been in this marketplace. She gets it. She gets she knows what this is like. So if you're comparing yourself to Brandy, you're like, well, I've been in the business 3 years and I'm not anywhere close to 5 stars. It's okay. Everyone's journey is different. And that's the beautiful part of this. Absolutely. So Brandy, let's tee this off because I'm 4 minutes over. What are some couple things that you're going to do just to keep your team totally motivated, to keep yourself totally motivated? Any tips of the trade that you're going to put into place right away?
So, hitting 5-star, all I did is I just said, who can I help? And I looked at the person that they were a pirate. If you're new, that just means like they got one person, how can I help you? Oh my gosh, you have one person. Listen, or I looked at who was about to hit their first 5 cycles or their first cycle, whatever. Everybody was going to get a win. And that's what I wanted. I wanted even the smallest, newest person to win, to the person that's said yes to me the first. And that's how we crossed the finish line. So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep just doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep calling people, meet the people, see the people, meet the people, call the people, see the people. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep getting excited about day to day, waking up and saying, hey, listen, you know what? I'm the one that is looking for the right people. Let's go. And you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lead by example, Erica. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to totally just go out there. I'm going to, like you said, cast the vision of this is only getting bigger. Here in Texas, we're doing a massive expansion. Who wants to come along? Who wants to take a look? And I can tell you right now, that's all I'm going to do, Erica. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to do more of it. And I'm going to help the people rise up on our teams and every other team, like all the teams, because I want everybody to win. And that's how we grow.
And Brandy, one of my favorite things is we were in Arizona together and you're like, I don't even understand this, but I'm just telling people the compensation plan is amazing. Like she just did it. She was ignorance on fire in such a solid way. And that's like, no, like she had the passion, she had the belief, she had the mindset, but that took her time. Like we said, she wasn't always that way. So if you're on this call right now and you're like, well, I'll never be Brandy. Well, no, you'll never be Brandy if you think that way. But if you want to be Brandy and you want to work on it, you got to flex that muscle. You got to show up and work on it each day. It's your choice on how much you want to grow with that mindset. Because no one will ever be Brandy. You're going to be you. And that's what's going to make the right people attracted to your business.
Man, God made you for you. You have a whole demographic of people that I don't know, that people are going to look at me and they're like, she's too much or whatever. Like, be you. You're an original, you're an authentic, original, divine copy that God created. Go be you. And at the end of the day, I'm telling you what, like you guys get excited for what's ahead. You know what? That just really take some time for yourself and just say, okay, what if this went away tomorrow? You would miss it. Trust me. If you decided to quit on yourself, you would miss it. Don't quit. Don't ever give up. You're the most influential player on your team. So whatever it takes, you know what, you got to decide, would you follow you? And if you wouldn't, then it's okay. Then just decide why, and then get that changed and get around people that you want to be like and implement, and then just go after it. So Erica, thank you. Everybody, thank you so much for, this time. I tell you, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I hit 6 cycles. She was like, oh, my mom doesn't know anything, right? And I was like, I got it wrong, right? I'm like, no, wait, no, I said 5 cycles. And I mean 5 stars. So like, I tell everybody I say this even now, I don't even know all the ranks. I don't know all the stuff, but when I figure it out, I'm gonna be dangerous. Okay, so y'all had and watch, y'all get ready, and y'all just have some fun and go chase your dreams. Just go after it. Love you.
And when
guys.
you're feeling low, call Brandy. I mean, God, she needs such passion into you. She loves doing it. Guys, drop your best takeaway in the chat. Let's end this call on such a high note with just blowing it up. Thanking everyone for showing up tonight. Guys, Jen, Cindy, Barb, Brandy, you guys should, and everyone else on this call who made a run for it this week, that just, I don't care if you enrolled one person or you became a 5-star, whatever it is or in between, you're here tonight, you showed up, you're committed to your business, you're committed to yourself, self-development, and we are going to continue to make 2022 absolutely and utterly epic, right? Everyone says that network marketing slows down during the summer. Not for these teams. It's not slowing down. We're going to show them, we're going to defy the rules, the business rules, like Jessica would say, right? All the things that are out there in the numbers, like why does it have to be that way? It doesn't. because we're all there to work. We're all there to make this happen. We're all there to bless other people's lives. You guys rock. I'm so glad you showed up tonight. Thank you so much for just pouring into us with all your good golden nuggets. And I hope that everyone goes out and just lights themselves on fire. Go send those messages tonight. Go do something afraid. Make that plan of action. Believe in yourself. And the sky is the absolute limit. You guys rock. Have a great night.